God wants to use even you. Hear me on this one. You get nothing else out of what I say today. God wants to use even you. My wife and I received from Summer a few days ago a text. Tell us what it was about.
Last Friday, my nephew had a seizure and was rushed to the emergency room, and they said that his heart was beating at 30%.
30% capacity. You doctors know what that means. His heart was pumping, was functioning at 30% capacity. He had a seizure. Summer texts my wife and I. She says, hey, you guys want to pray for us? This happened, this happened. Gave us the statistics, numbers, and everything. Said, pray with me. Let's trust God. I think it was the next day she sends us another text. What did the second text say?
That I had went to the hospital that morning, and I laid hands on him. And later that day, his father called me and told me that he was being released from the hospital.
Stand up, nephew. Nothing but the power of the living God. Now, here's what I need you to see. Please, I need you to see this. I need you to see this. There was no drama. There was no theatrics. She didn't have to go and put on different clothes. There was no production. She simply, she anointed him with oil. She laid hands. She touched him. Don't let that phrase lay on hands get deep. Well, I'm going to lay my hands on you. Just touch the man. No, because if you think this laying on of hands is something super spiritual, you'll miss it. And again, you'll end up saying, I need somebody else to do that. I can't do that. That is not, she just touched him. First funeral that I did, one of my brothers here is a medical doctor, specializes in HIV. Several years ago, the first funeral I did of someone with AIDS, never forget it. And the brother had AIDS. He was in a hospital in Orange County. And I went to visit him. It was the first time I'd ever seen anyone with that stage of AIDS. And so I walked in and I saw him, and his skin was like real gray and dry, and parched, almost like ashy. And I came in and I thought he was asleep. And I simply took him by the hand. I laid my hand on his hand. And a few seconds after that, I looked, and remember now, his body is like totally covered with ash, and I don't know medically what that means. But I noticed he was laying down. I noticed a tear begin to creep down the ash and the grayness and the dryness of his skin. And the nurse said to me, said, Pastor, you're the only person who has touched him. She said, no one comes to see him, and those who do always stand back and don't get too close. And she said, you're the first person, you're the only person who's touched him. Never diminish, never minimize the power of touch. They've done studies about children who were raised and children who were not touched and children who were held. Don't ever minimize that. A few moments ago, we started, and Jimmy said, turn your neighbor and hug your neighbor. Listen to me. I don't know anyone by name generically in this room, but I declare unto you, someone in this room of hundreds and hundreds of people, someone, when we turned and hugged your neighbor, whatever, that was the only hug you've gotten all week long. Now, here's what you don't know about this backstory. Then I'm ready to pray. Get ready, Casey. Here it is. What most of you don't know is that Summer, who stands next to me with 3 bullet holes in her. Several years ago, Summer was shot 3 times. And she has bullet hole scars on her body as we speak. Stay with me. My wife and I and others around, at one time, we didn't know if someone was going to make it. I mean, shot 3 times. Come on. And the devil tried to take her out. Now watch God. Years later, the woman who the devil tried to take out and take her life ministers life to her nephew, and God gets the glory both times. Both times. You don't know why God brought you through that last problem. You don't know why God delivered you from that last attack. You don't know why God brought you through that last time that the enemy came against you. God has some stuff prepared for you down the road that you can't even see. And he will reveal to you, that's why you didn't die. That's why you didn't give up. That's why you held on. Because I had something prepared down the road that I would do through you to someone else for my glory. Somebody help me bless God in this house.